All right, folks, welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Steve Malzberg Show. Lots to get to today. Now, the latest in the search for the missing airliner, unfortunately, those pings, which had been picked up in previous days, the pinging has stopped. Now, again, it doesn't mean the pings were from the plane. We should make that perfectly clear. But whether or not they were, the pingings are gone. They've stopped. There's been no further pingings. Now, we were told that the battery life is 30 to 35 days. This would be, I think, about day 31 or 32. So, you know, is it possible those pings were from the plane and now the batteries died? You know, your guess is as good as mine. And, you know, you can make a joke about it, again, by watching CNN coverage. I could tell you 10 jokes based on their headlines and their coverage and what they're saying. Unfortunately, it's not a laughing matter. It's CNN's coverage that's making really a joke out of the horrific nature of this terrible tragedy, where there are real lives involved that were on the plane and that are now family members who don't have an answer. But there's no news. Okay, there's no news right now. The latest I had was that the pings have not been picked up again. All right. Barack Obama was out there today, but first I want to play you some. You talk about insanity, okay? Knowing you could get away with something, though, and the media will sign off on it. Although I give credit to the media, they're taking the White House to task. What have we been telling you all along on this 77 cents on the dollar that women make compared to men? That it's a misleading statement. It's ridiculous. There are a lot of mitigating factors involved. College education, choice of major, frequency, how long you stay in the workforce, if you decide to leave, if you have a family. All these make that statistic ridiculous. So now the White House, it turns out, they are paying 88 cents for women on the dollar to men. And they were asked about it. Jay Carney was asked about it. I'm not going to play you the answer right now. Jay Carney was asked about it. We're going to skip in a second to 51, to Obama. And he basically said, well, you know, we're trying to fix that, but there are a lot of mitigating circumstances. And then he went on to repeat everything I just told you, because it's not even an issue. So they're making the same excuse, but the president didn't stop him from this today.
Equal pay day. And it's nice to have a day. But it's even better to have equal pay. And our job's not finished yet. Equal pay day means that a woman has to work about this far into 2014 to earn what a man earned in 2013. Think about that. A woman's got to work about 3 more months.
All right. He's not even able to explain his lie properly. He's confusing himself. But again, the chutzpah to do this, equal pay day, when he doesn't pay women the same. Where's Boehner, McConnell? Where are the Republicans? I want to see them out there saying what I'm saying. Is that so difficult? All right, folks. We're going to welcome in. Let's welcome in Mary Matalin. And we got to give her a proper welcome this time. Mary, listen up. Oh, yeah, Mary, Mary. We got the theme song back, so all is right with the world, and we welcome in the one and only Mary Matalin, of course, served under 3 presidents, and you know her, you love her, and along with her husband, James Carville, the author of Love and War, 20 years, 3 presidents, 2 daughters, and 1 Louisiana home. Hello, Mary.
Hey, we're the monkeys. I don't think that's about me. I think it's about marijuana.
No,
marijuana.
But we could tell people it's about you.
Well, I'm not marijuana.
That's the beauty of poetic license.
There you go. There you go.
All right, unless Mickey, Peter, or Michael want to dispute that, we'll go with that. Anyway, welcome aboard. Let's start by talking about this, this Dianne Feinstein and the report on the CIA interrogation techniques. You know, General Michael Hayden came out and said that her emotions appear to be such that it will taint any report. And of course, it's a biased report. It was done by the Democrats, as Mark Thiessen pointed out to us yesterday. But because he used the word emotion, Andrea Mitchell, CBS, they're all piling on poor Michael Hayden now. Not that he needs my defense. They're saying you don't talk. Even KT McFarland on Fox said you don't talk about a woman that way. You see, this is a preview of what we're going to get with the Hillary election.
Well, it won't ring true with the American public, and there's no other explanation. It would be laughable if it wasn't so despicable, and you expect that kind of hackery out of someone like Nancy Pelosi, but not from Dianne Feinstein. This is way beyond hypocrisy. This is blatant, overt fabrication. She was there. Everybody approved of this. Everybody knew of it. In fact, right after, before 9/20, Cheney had been, before 9/11 and before Bush's speech of 9/20, Cheney had been assigned Homeland Security, the new kind of, how do we have a Homeland Defense, Homeland Security, and she was our go-to guy in the Senate. This is, I can't even, and she knows the information, she knows the lives that were saved, she knows the plots that have been thwarted, and not only was it written all by Democrats, they did not interview, Dianne Feinstein's staff did not interview one of the CIA intelligence officers involved in the program, which is ironic because Obama's White House cooperated with Zero Dark 30 and has a lot of the same information in there, which demonstrably it says and states that these techniques did work. And I'll tell you, this is what's despicable about this is it has a very chilling effect on our intelligence, which is already diminished because we don't have any human intelligence, or we have very little human intelligence given the nature of the enemy and the threat and the difficulty of infiltrating with human intelligence. So now the kind of intelligence that we can gather, like through these means, has been stopped. And this is really serious security consequences. I don't know what's got into Dianne Feinstein. I don't know. I'd say it's worse than emotion. It's something inexplicable and does not comport with her known reputation. It's really sad.
All right. Well, you of course were a top advisor to Dick Cheney. Were you ever? You know for sure that Dianne Feinstein was aware of all of these interrogation techniques and the good they did at the time?
Yes. If she was on that committee, she was, and so was Nancy Pelosi, who was infamously a member of the Gang of Four. Of course they all knew it. They're not just hypocrites. I'm saying again, they are liars, they're fools, okay? They're not fools. Dianne Feinstein, in particular, knows how intelligence works. It's not like you waterboard somebody, you have an enhanced interrogation tactic, and they just spill the beans. That's not how it works. You piece together a mosaic. And in the case of KSM, for instance, who was the mastermind of 9/11, we got to UBL, to Osama bin Laden, through his resistance of admitting that he knew the courier, Osama's courier. I mean, that's how you piece it together. It's an art form. It's not a specific science, and these guys are highly trained to do it.
What's the purpose here? What's the intent? I mean, they've already called Bush and Cheney un-American based on this report. What's the ultimate goal here?
All right, this is what it is. I'm so cynical, and this is why good people don't want to serve in public office anymore. Because all Obama wants to do for these midterms, which his party's going to get wiped out on because of opposition, intense opposition to his policies, specifically the Affordable Care Act. They're trying to gin up their base. All I got to do is gin up their base, turn out their base, and they have a fighting chance in combination with their technology, which remains superior to ours, of stemming what is going to be a tsunami midterm against them. So how do they do that? They pull out the old boogeymen, Cheney and Bush, and it's right out of their playbook. That's all political. Why do you think any right-thinking, and I don't mean right-left, I mean any normal, ordinary American is going to cast a vote in these midterms, however many years after the fact, however demonstrable our intelligence has contributed to our security, are going to say, "Oh, Dick Cheney," and it's going to impact their vote. Let me tell you what Dick Cheney did, because I was there. Because of his long years of experience with the first Gulf War and the dissemination or the degradation of the former Soviet Union, he understood how imprecise intelligence can be. So he went to the CIA, directly to the people who were collecting the information, to see how it got up in the PDF, the President's Daily Brief. And he understands intelligence, he understands primary sources, and the people that he talked to at the CIA were not chilled by his presence. He didn't cherry pick. He was trying to get the truth. They loved that their direct information was not being translated or diluted going up the chain to get into these synthesized reports. And you can talk to any CIA guy, he'll tell you that. And what's super despicable about this is the Democrats, for their own political purposes, for this midterm, are attacking the very public servants, our security professionals who cannot defend themselves or will not defend themselves because they fear declassifying their rebuttal would compromise sources and methods. People should be outraged about this, but of course they won't, because this is the beauty of their tactic of sullying all politics, because it makes people just roll their eyes and not even think about it.
All right, very quickly, Mary, we got about a minute and a half. It turns out the New York Times says a study released in January showed White House staff members, on average, make 88 cents for every dollar male staff earners earn. And it's funny because now Jay Carney's saying, well, there are mitigating factors that go into those statistics. Well, of course. So when they go around and saying women make 77% on the dollar or 77 cents on the dollar, the same mitigating circumstances exist, that they're phony statistics. Yet it didn't stop Obama today. He was out there with Lilly Ledbetter talking about how the Republicans, don't like women, and it's insane.
Well, this is part of the same strategy. You are describing another tactic in the strategy of just kicking out the base. Any sane person knows that when women do equal work for an equal amount of time and do not choose to leave the workplace, either to take the burden of families falls predominantly on women by their own choice.
They get the same. They get the same amount. Listen,
they get the same amount.
Mary, I got to cut it short because the monkeys want to come back. No, we don't have the monkeys again. But I got to go. Great talking to you. We'll talk to you again very soon. Thank you very much.
Okay, love you, Stevie Wonder. Ciao, ciao.
All right, Mary, where are you going to? I could ask her that now. That's a good question. All right, Mary Matalin. When we come back, folks, the panel will weigh in on all of this right here on the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.
The Steve Malzberg Show.
Tonight